Hello guys, we are on? Yes we are. Hello guys, we're here at Tory Conference, that time of year again. It comes around quicker every year, doesn't it? So we're going to have a look around and see what's going on.
Before you go, so first get up to speed and then push. A lot of people already start pushing,
Yeah.
but then it doesn't work anymore.
Fair enough. Alright, let's go slow.
Oh, nice! That's the brake. You can feel the acceleration, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're just for the wall. You want to try out the bird one?
I'm not sure it's a good idea.
Why not?
Because
You're
my
doing pretty
balance
good.
isn't quite there.
Oh, that's why we're here. You can just. It's even easier to balance on that one, but you have to say if you're comfortable doing it.
Yeah, like it really does have a kick to it though.
Yeah.
You know what, I could actually see myself getting used to one of those. I normally walk everywhere, but if they made them legal, you never know. I might end up with one. Fantastic atmosphere so far. I'm off to a reception now, which is outside the security zone. So, got building work going on next to me, but it's a great atmosphere. Met a lot of people that are really psyched for what the plans are in the party for after we've sorted the mess of Brexit out. Hopefully, we're all actually very eager to get it over and done with, because let's face it, there are other things that have to be done. So, looking forward to that, and so is everyone else. But now off to this reception, so let's get going. Should be fun. Oh my goodness, it's so hot and humid today. I'm practically melting. Let's go to this drinks reception. I need one.
How should we go forward as a party? What do we do if we actually come out at the other side of a general election with an ability to have a durable parliamentary majority, to not simply deliver a Brexit outcome, but to govern the country in a quite radical way, you know, like to be a bit more ambitious possibly than we've been able to be since 2017.
Again. So it's day 3 of conference, and the weather has really dampened down all the protests, because let's have a look at what we've got here. We have the one Remainer, and 3 Brexiteers. And we've got a couple more coming. Perhaps it'll turn out to be like a handful of people in the end. It's not exactly much of a protest. It's a bit weird. Normally when we come to these events, you end up with death threats and people crowding around the entrance trying to kill you. And this year has been very, very laid back, which just shows we're winning. Perhaps we can actually get back the decency in politics. That'd be nice. Right, let's go in. The difference this year is quite staggering. Last time we were in Manchester, we couldn't move outside because there was a protest right here. And now, nothing. It's really much, much better. And the major thing is the tonal difference this year. There's a lot of positivity in the air. A lot of people with a lot of views on what we do after Brexit. For the last few conferences, as you might expect, it's all been about, we've got to get it done. We've got to get Brexit done. We've got to fight our way through and do this and make a success of it. And now, it's a case of, it's happening. We are going to do it. What do we do next? And that has been something that's been missing, and I've wanted to have those discussions for years, because we can't just be about, oh, we've got to do Brexit. We've got to know what we're doing after, because if you don't know what you're doing after, how do you plan for getting there? And that has been the thing. So this year, there's a lot of debate about housing, policing, changes to the NHS to make sure that it keeps going and still works, things like that. And that is brilliant, because that's exactly what we need to be talking about. You can't just be a single issue party, especially not when you're in government. And it's great that finally we're moving on beyond that big problem and saying, we're going to do it, we're going to get it fixed, we're going to sort it out, we're going to make the best of it, and then we're going to start making the country better again. That is fantastic. I've had a lot of good discussions with a fair few groups on policies. The biggest thing that's coming out of this conference is what do we do after Brexit's finished. I keep saying this, and it's true because that is the main focus now. We know it's going to happen, because if it doesn't, well, everyone's screwed, but we know it's going to happen, so what do we do after? And for me, there are a number of policy issues. I'm going to talk about most of them later, but the main one that I keep talking to people about today is housing. We need more housing. The fact is, we have a much bigger population than we did even a few years ago, and they've all got to live somewhere. It doesn't matter where you're from, whether you're born here, whether you've moved here, you need somewhere to live. We haven't been building enough houses for decades, so we need more, and we need to put them somewhere sensible. We can't just put them willy-nilly in the middle of the green belt next to towns and not put road structures around them. Something that I argued against time and time again when I was on planning in Bolton Council. You can't just put houses down and expect the roads to magically work for them, because they won't. You need capacity, you need surgeries for doctors, you need dentists, you need schools, all of this. So it's a big issue for everyone. We need proper housing, and we need a proper plan to deliver the services that go with housing. But the other thing that keeps coming up, and that I've been talking to a few people about today, is transport. We need a wholesale change in transport, because, and here's the thing that I keep saying to a lot of people, it should not be cheaper to transport a train around the country via road than via rail. But at the moment it seems to be, because we see an awful lot of trains being moved around, whether it's heritage railways or what, or just the main network. You shouldn't be able to transport a train on the road cheaper than putting it on the rails and just running it somewhere. So, we need a proper discussion about transport, and we need a proper discussion about environmentally friendly power. Now, I've been speaking to EDF today about nuclear power, because I'm a nuclear physicist, so it's kind of my area, and they're building a power station at the moment, and hopefully going to use the same building design and techniques to build another power station after that, which would provide in total 14% of our country's power. Now, that doesn't seem like a huge amount, but it's 14% more than before, which is great. The future is still nuclear. I like the idea of the fusion power centre that the Prime Minister had talked about a few days ago, but fusion power, it's always been 20 years off. Even back when I was studying physics at Durham 20 years ago, it was 20 years off, and we're still talking about it, so I can't see it working. For the moment, let's go with a traditional power station for nuclear and see how that goes. So there are many, many things going on, and many more still to go, so I'm going to head back in.
Another evil communist killers!
I'm not convinced about that, but whatever, each their own. There's not been a far larger protest. It's very strange, very subdued this year. It's like everyone's realised that we're not going anywhere. Pretty good. Right, let's go. Yes, I realise the irony. But, let's head off. We'll go back to work. A fair bit of filming, a fair bit of editing to do, so let's get to it. If you liked today's video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you.